What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Y'all keep up with me. Make sure y'all stay tuned. There's a lot of twists and turns in this case. With that being said, let's get right into it. When relationships run their course and people decide to go their separate ways, things could play out good or bad. For some, they might have been in a toxic situation, cheating on each other, playing games to the point it had to end before somebody gets hurt. Another scenario could be a couple that realizes they are just on two different type of times. It's no hard feelings. Their lives might just be going in two different directions. So they break up, and that's just that, with no love lost, but no contact. They wish each other the best and move on with their lives. But then you have couples that's on and off, depending on the day. They might be together one day, and the next time you see them, they are running around saying they are single. It's up and down, but no matter what, they let it be known, that's my homie and we will always be friends. In a perfect world, that sounds real good. Being friends with somebody you was once intimate with. Checking on each other, being there for each other if you need anything, maybe even being cool with their new partner. If they are open and can respect their friendship. But in my opinion, everybody can't do that. It takes a different level of being grown to be friends with somebody you once was intimate with and keeping things strictly platonic, especially if the relationship didn't end on bad terms. It's leaving too much room to double back, or for one to act like they are happy the other one has moved on, but inside they are jealous and really not over them. And depending on the circumstances, being friends with an ex could be dangerous. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it to Salt Lake City, Utah to discuss the case of a relationship turned friendship that took a turn for the worse. Back in 2022, 27-year-old Demetrius Allen was on top of the world. Originally from Houston, Texas, the young man was in a total different lane than his peers, having a career that wasn't normal or boring. See, Demetrius was a real cowboy, a professional bull rider who was very good at what he did. Given the nickname Ouncy Mitchell, Ouncy because he was small when he was young with a lot of heart. The young man with that same heart and no fear had worked his way up the ranks, being in the top 40 of bull riders in the country. Outside of work, Demetrius was also a father to a 3-year-old baby girl who looked up to him. The true Texas boy who loved the outdoors, had a good career with that southern swag and charm, also had no problems on the dating scene. Being young in his prime and always traveling, he would brush shoulders with a lot of beautiful women. And somewhere in the mix, he would meet 22-year-old LaShawn Bagley, also a Texas native, but had recently relocated to Utah. It was stated the two met and hit it off. He even tried the relationship thing for a minute, but with Demetrius' line of work, it was hard to really settle down and be in one place. So after being on and off, they both decided to just be friends, but they would also stay in contact with each other. In 2022, it was a tough year for LaShawn. She had recently lost her father back in Texas, and now she was miles away from her family living in Salt Lake City. But the young lady was about to get a lift in her spirits. In September of that year, Ouncy had an upcoming bull riding event at the Utah State Fair. So he decided he would call his ex-girlfriend and now friend LaShawn and tell her he was coming into town. They both decided he should just stay with her at her place. The day he came into town, it was all love. The young lady, who was also beautiful, made sure to look good for Ouncy, as her and her homegirl would be representing him at the state fair. He performed and did great as usual. So after, the trio decided to hit a local bar to celebrate. After having a few drinks, LaShawn peeped Demetrius and her homegirl, who we will call Ashley, getting a little bit too friendly with each other for her liking. She felt like it was flirting, and that was disrespectful, being that the two used to be in a relationship. She grabbed her belongings and stormed off. She got in her car and left both Demetrius and Ashley at the bar. Being that she was there a ride, he called and texted the young lady, letting her know he needed to come by her house to pick up his rodeo equipment that was worth over $10,000 for his next event. Later that night, Demetrius and Ashley caught a lift to LaShawn's apartment. He texted her again, stating he was on his way and he just needed to pick up his items, but she never responded. As they pulled up, he knocked on the door. He even yelled, saying, "I need my things." Still no response though. Ashley attempted to use a credit card to pick the lock, but it didn't work. That's when Demetrius stated, "I'm from Houston. I can get in that house." He grabbed a rock before then beating on the door. Seconds later, multiple shots went off, and local police received 2 different calls. LaShawn was already on the phone with police, stating someone was beating on her door, and she claimed she didn't know who it was. She told the operator, "I got my gun. I'm shooting now." After the shots, Ashley also called. She stated she shot him. She shot him. Police responded to the complex to find Demetrius suffering from a gunshot wound. He was rushed to a local hospital, but unfortunately, he wouldn't survive his injuries. LaShawn was taken into custody and questioned. After it was determined her gun was registered and questions about the shooting being justified, she was at first released pending an investigation. She was to have no contact with the victim's family or leave the state, but LaShawn quickly packed her things and went back to Texas to be with her family. Soon after, she was arrested and charged with the murder of Ouncy. His family spoke out about what kind of man he was, his passion for his career, and his dedication to being a father. They felt their life had been shattered and it would never be the same. As LaShawn's court dates started coming around, prosecutors painted the situation as a jealous ex-girlfriend who became angry after Demetrius flirted with Ashley. Ashley testified and told the courts LaShawn stormed off and left them at the bar. She claimed she had to know they was coming by the house because Demetrius texted her multiple times. They also pointed to the fact LaShawn had a strong smell of alcohol on her that night as she was drinking and already mad about losing her father, causing the young lady to snap. But this is where things get tricky. The courts couldn't determine whether or not LaShawn saw or even read the text messages that was sent to her. And it was in fact a possibility she felt an intruder was trying to get into her home. Her gun was registered, and in the state of Utah, you have the right to strike first if you feel like you are in danger. You don't even have to wait for somebody to break into the home. With that, 2 years after the incident, all charges against LaShawn were dropped, and she walked away a free woman. There were mixed feelings about the verdict. Some felt LaShawn was defending herself. Others felt it was premeditated. They stated she played like she didn't know Ouncy was coming by. That way, she could just shoot through the door and get away with it. Some felt it was simple as being a jealous ex who was in her feelings that night. His family spoke out again after the verdict. They wanted it to be known justice one day will be served, as they felt the young lady's actions were intentional and the system failed Demetrius. But the case was dismissed with prejudice, meaning in order to be reopened, they would have to go through the state, get approval from the courts, and it be determined an error was made. But as of now, the verdict remains. Rest in peace to Demetrius. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. It's a tough situation, and people have mixed opinions about it. But I want to leave this one open for discussion. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on the situation. Do you feel LaShawn was justified in her actions? And have you yourself tried to remain friends with an ex after the relationship? If so, how did it play out? Let me know in the comments. And remember, we gotta succeed not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Yeah, man, crazy story. Rest in peace, that young man. I definitely send my prayers to his family. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. It's another episode of Hood Tales. It's your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.